So this is a follow-up to a different video that I did, but a couple of users requested that talk about this. But a lot of times when you're using the rich text box, you can get uh, the output is not exactly what you want. So I'm having it do a research document for me, and it's going to run this prompt, and it's going to. I told it to output into HTML, and a lot of times when you get on the same settings, so here it's an HTML. Um, this this output looks fine, but a lot of times when you give them really, if you give the AI really big inputs, at the end it's going to mess up, and it's for a couple of reasons. Is one, it struggles with really large inputs, and uh, something over. But I mean, the inputs aren't the problem. You can do over 40,000. I've done over 40,000 words and been able to get it. The outputs aren't going to be as large. The outputs might be 1,000 to 2,000 words, and but normally it'll cut you off. Sometimes it'll hallucinate at the end, and it will start just printing just gibberish at the bottom here. And that's just what happens with AI. And a way that we've worked around in the settings to get around that is just lowering the temperature here. And our default, the F penalty and P penalty and the temperature are going to be higher. But if you're wanting to do an HTML output here, what you should do is change the settings to have the temperature be low, the F penalty be about 0.1, and the P penalty being about 0.1. And that should fix your problem with the HTML output. Now, if you want to do this in Markdown, it also has a good format. So I could put Markdown. It's not going to appear as pretty in the rich text box because the rich text box reads HTML only. So it doesn't look as good here. But if we go to the output here, it looks a lot better. And so you can have your trade-off whether you want it to be in HTML or if you want it to be in Markdown. But hopefully those settings will help you to just get a little bit better responses and just play around with it and see what works for you. It's directly working with the ChatGPT API. So if you want to look at some of the documentation for that, you can. It's a little bit more complicated than what I explained, but if you want to learn more about it, I have read the documentation, and it has taught me a lot more about how AI works. So I would recommend it if you have the time. But if not, it should be a quick fix for you.